Here is colorized footage of Jerusalem in 1897. This is the closest thing we are ever going to get to a time machine. The strangest thing is this doesn't even look close to 1897. They really did a great job with this film footage. I mean, it looks old, I guess, but not really that old. Look at this fancy man with this suit. I'm actually surprised to see, like, not more people, like, standing around staring at this weird camera device. They probably just have way bigger things to worry about. So at that time, that city was under Ottoman control. I felt like I was getting some of those vibes while I was watching that. And the world map looked something like this over 120 years ago. This was before the 2 world wars, which would cause a bunch of chaos in Europe and, of course, around the globe. But this was around the time pretty much every place had been colonized that they could get to. A couple of little outliers here and there, but they were about to slowly integrate all that. British-controlled Canada was still kind of a mess, too. French President Emmanuel Macron is 25 years younger than his wife, who is 68 currently. They first met when he was a 15-year-old schoolboy, and she was his teacher. Bruh, that type of power clearly can get you elected to lead a whole country. Okay, but seriously, I kind of find it strange that way more people aren't talking about this. A recent study discovered that some Icelandic people with deep roots in the country possessed mitochondrial DNA specific to Native Americans. Since mitochondrial DNA is passed down from women, it's likely that a Native American woman crossed the Atlantic with Vikings and had children in Iceland. I really hope that she was okay with that, like that's what she wanted to do. And also, why is this lady wearing her hair as a dress? I don't really know exactly how well developed some of the villages were in Iceland at this time, but I wonder how weird that must have been for any Native Americans that went back with them. The lower dungeon of Warwick Castle. Basically, it's a place where prisoners were dropped and forgotten about. How deep does it go? So you're definitely breaking your legs on the way down, I'm guessing. I mean, it seems like there's something going on down there, like some sort of prison. It's not just a hole that they shove you in. Or wait, actually, maybe it is. Okay, this is terrible. It's just hard to understand why they were so cruel back then. In 1962, an Italian magazine printed this image, which they thought the world would look like in 2022. So they kind of predicted segways correctly. And actually, since we're in a pandemic, this might become a thing. Gotta protect yourself outside while you're riding your subway. This way you don't have to wear a mask. Everything else looks pretty good. They actually might be correct. Mysterious cube-shaped anomaly discovered on the moon's far side by Chinese rover. The rover will spend the next 2 to 3 months verifying it. Why would it take 2 to 3 months? To get over there, or is he just gonna sit there and try to figure out what it is? Oh, is this just a rock? Oh, it's all good. The pioneers used to ride those babies for miles. Here's a picture of the Oval Office between presidents. Sometimes I forget that they have to like pack up everything and let the new guy come in. Like you would think they would still leave like the couch or the desk. I guess not. I don't want to be voted president one day just so I can make this my gamer room. Some roads in Australia are so long and boring, they have trivia signs to keep drivers entertained. This one says, keep playing trivia, it may save your life. Question, floral emblem of Queensland. Floral emblem of Queensland? I don't know what that is. I would look at that for 2 seconds and immediately go back to sleep, even if I was driving. The Cooktown Orchard. Can the trivia be a little bit less hard? This is not going to help me at all to stay awake. I guess the difficulty of the trivia needs to be perfectly in between, not so hard that you immediately give up, and not so easy you can immediately come up with the answer. Then again, once you drive the road once and you see the answer, those trivia signs are literally useless. This map does a good job of showing you just how long and boring those roads actually can be. If you aren't near the more populated area of the continent, which is somewhere along this east coast, and it is going to be nothing for miles and miles. It really is just a giant desert. So if you're trying to drive from the east coast to the west coast, I wonder how long that'd even be. Keep in mind, Australia is like almost as big as the US. Holy crap, from Canberra, the Australian capital, to Perth on the other side of the continent, that's a 40-hour drive. And again, yeah, there's probably nothing down here. Well, maybe it's not too bad. This road specifically goes by the coast. At least you get to look at the water. Is this the only way you can really go east to west? I mean, you can go all the way through the north. I'm noticing there's nothing through this Gibson Desert Nature Reserve. For reference, that is the same amount of time it would take to drive from LA to Miami. So not very fun. This armor of an unfortunate 19-year-old soldier of Napoleon's army in the Battle of Waterloo. Yeah, I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say this guy probably didn't survive. And if he did, he probably had a cool scar going through his body. It'd be like a fun party trick, like, hey, stick your fist through my body. This is a church in Reykjavik, Iceland. It literally looks something straight out of a video game. No wonder they shoot so many movies in Iceland. Like, this place is just so crazy. And now we know the people there have some Native American blood running in them. We have different symbols that should not be confused with the no German symbol. This is Arabian, this is Chinese, Phoenician Tao, is that how you say that? Hindu, which confuses everyone. There's this English, American, Indian, early Christian. Whoa. And then finally, yeah. I've never seen this one before, so if it isn't all black and in a circle, you gotta be careful. Then again, if it's just like graffiti in a bathroom gas station and they drew it like this, I'm pretty sure they meant another thing. Or maybe there's just a lot of Hindu fans out there, I don't know. The North Korean founder Kim Il-sung had a baseball-sized tumor on the back of his head. North Korean propaganda officials had all photos taken of him from the left side, but this is one of the few candid photos of the tumor. Yeah, I gotta be honest, I've literally never seen this before. Hey, you think you just cover that thing up with like a scarf or a turtleneck? I mean, I know it's large for a turtleneck, but I'm just saying you could be more fashionable. Cost of living in 1938, so a brand new house would be about $4,000. Oh, I already know this is gonna be painful. Average income per year was only less than $2,000 though. New car was a little less than $1,000. Average rent $27 a month. Tuition to Harvard $420. Harvard with the memes even back in 1938. Movie ticket 25 cents. Gasoline 10 cents per gallon. Oh man, I just filled up yesterday and it was like almost $5. And then we have food here. Wow, this sugar actually, oh, that's for 10 pounds, 59 cents. Okay, never mind. Grounded coffee, 39 cents per pound. It's an interesting time to be looking at this too, especially as we deal with a bunch of inflation at the moment. This is a 229 feet Swedish warship, which sank in 1628. It was just recently, not that long ago, raised out of the ocean and I guess restored. Is this the one that went to that Swedish museum that we see all the time? Yeah, I think it is. I've never seen the footage of them trying to restore it. Oh, it was raised up in 1961 and it was almost in perfect condition. You could still walk on the wood and everything. How is that possible? Didn't this sink somewhere in like the Baltic Sea? Was it like just frozen in the ocean? Is that why it was able to be so preserved? Oh, they were literally able to recover so much of it. How have I never seen this footage before? This is amazing. Is that the One Ring? Oh, whoa, you're gonna need to throw that into Mordor. Oh, wow, this is getting a little too weird. Don't put it on, bro. Gonna become Gollum. Is that a skeleton? Oh, it is a skeleton. Whoa. They have all these old things. Yeah, shipwrecks are crazy. It's literally almost like a time machine. It was actually located in the 1950s just off the coast of a Stockholm harbor, and it was built for the purpose of attacking Poland, Lithuania. That's crazy, because that nation hasn't been around for centuries. So if it sunk somewhere right here, then is my theory correct that it was able to be preserved because it was just so cold? This is a photo of an albino Indian family. I didn't know that Indian people can be albino. These look like some distant cousins of mine. Well, if I didn't dye my hair, I'd probably look better, but yeah. Benjamin Franklin left $2,000 to Boston and Philadelphia to help young people in those cities. But he stipulated in his will that cities could not draw the balance for 200 years. In 1990, it was worth $6.5 million. The money was used to fund scholarships, women's health, and help firefighters and disabled children. Wait, how? He left $2,000 and the money ended up becoming worth $6.5 million? It was the currency valued because it was old? I don't understand how that works. Or just because the money was owned by Benjamin Franklin. Though the stock market bros would tell you that's only a 4% return, which is, you know, kind of bad, I guess. But I guess I shouldn't be a Debbie Downer right now. Still cool, though. Archaeologists in Peru have uncovered a mummy that's like 1,000 years old, 800 years old. How was this preserved so well now? Alright, so whatever happened to this person, it wasn't good. They're ending. Yeah, people forget just how many old things Peru has. There's some stuff even before the Incan Empire there. Zimbabwe wasn't on Google Street View until this man dedicated himself to it. Did he go pretty much everywhere? That's amazing that one person can go out and just do all of this. Wow, that's dedication right there. That's amazing actually, because there's still so many places that haven't been covered by Google Street View. Dang, too bad I live in Southern California and literally every single corner has been figured out here. Now I know all my GeoGuessr fans out there probably know about this. That game needs Google Street View, so you know you won't be in certain locations since they don't have coverage of it. But just look at how much of Africa they still have to go. I mean, they've got like Kenya, Nigeria. I mean, considering Nigeria is so populated, how you only got this? Ghana and Senegal. I wonder what dictates like which these, like how these countries specifically have it. No Morocco? Maybe it's like a similar case to Germany and some of these other places. They just don't want to be maybe on Google Street View. Belarus also isn't here, I guess. There's nothing in Kazakhstan, and actually for a lot of Central Asia. Some specific cities and towns have coverage, but not like the roads across the country. I want to volunteer to be the dude that does North Korea. This is a cabin in, of all places, Norway. Big surprise. Beautiful and snowy. Of course, it's going to be Norwegian. I wonder why they did this staircase like this, though. Do they just want to be fancy? You'd think they just have it, like, directly underneath the structure. That'd probably help it being more stable, but alright, guess maybe just like the cool ramp or whatever. That place does not look very big, I will say. I mean, that couch is already taken up like half the space. Never underestimate the strength of a wild boar. Look at that thing. He just broke open this gate and he kept running. I'm just saying, I see a whole lot of people act like these pigs ain't nothing. Well, it's a boar, but you know, these things are dangerous. They will mess you up. Bigger than bulldogs, but with the same amount of strength. You know, like little, like short little things with all these muscles. This is the 5th largest statue in the world. This is located in Japan, and I've actually never seen this statue before in my life. It's looking massive, but I'm sure this has something to do with the perspective or something, I think. This is looking like it's a mile high. The clouds probably help in the background. And big thanks to the Christmas patrons,
AryanAfterHours,
Drew's Arab Sugar Daddy.
What are you doing, Step Drew?
Why am I doing this?
This is Gabe,
Stormtrooper
Rye
501,
the Pie,
Mine Brothers 9999
Nemo
X2,
Shiki,
McBlorf,
Max
Majestic
Cooper,
Unicorn,
LuxembourgLover,
Ivan Lima,
I Love Marx,
Drew's Argentinian Grandpa,
Dalton D,
Cybernetic Ghost of Christmas Past from the
BringBackPolandball,
Future,
Barnsky W,
and for His Excellency,
King Corey.